Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Accounting 103, Introduction to Managerial Accounting. My name is Robert Boyd, and I'll be the instructor for this course, Summer 2020. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to start out with a little bit of a welcome positioning, and then we're going to take a review of the syllabus. How is Canvas organized and how do we use it? And talk about the first assignment, getting to know each other. How can you be successful in this course? Well, the first thing is to look at the difference between online learning compared to online teaching. This course is online learning. What's the difference is that online teaching is passive, where you simply listen to lectures and read, and online learning is active. This course is built on engaging you. How do we facilitate your learning? It's a two-way process. We're actively engaged, which you will see as we move through the syllabus and what the assignments are. You need to engage. Okay, that's a key part. A lot of times you can come into an in-person class and you can just sit in the back, not do anything, and go through the whole semester without really engaging. But with online learning, we need to engage you so that you can learn and this can be useful. We cover everything in 6 weeks that would be covered in a full 15-week semester. You're not getting a shortened version at all. You're getting it intensely. I do believe that because of the time framework, it's stickier, meaning it will stay with you. You will remember in a couple weeks what we did today, but I would suggest that if this were the fall, come December, you won't remember what we did in August. So we've set this up to be a learning experience for you in a very intense, shortened period of time. What can I tell you about successful students? They plan and organize their time. Okay, they know what's doing. What I will do is I will tell you in each assignment how long it will take. So believe me, okay, allow enough time. I've had instances in the first session where I have told you like 2 weeks in advance an assignment will take 10 hours and it's due at 11:59 on say June 25th. Well, if you started at 6 o'clock and I told you it's going to take 10 hours, you're not going to be done. So plan and organize your time. Watch the weekly video. I issue a weekly video on Sundays to give you an update of what's going on. I would watch it so that you know what's coming up so that you can plan and not have to be catching up all the time. A little bit about my background. My undergraduate degree is from SUNY Geneseo. I'm a graduate of RIT in Leadership and Innovation. I am a certified public accountant in New York State. I have a broad base of experiences. If you haven't guessed, I'm old. I've practiced public accounting for a number of years. Most of my career was spent with HSBC Bank, 28 years. Rose to the rank of the senior vice president. I started in accounting policy and procedures. How do you account for transactions that there is no accounting for? How do you apply theory to transactions? I then ran internal and external accounting functions, and that included the management accounting, cost accounting, forecasting, planning. I was involved in problem solving. When something was broke, I'd go to fix it. I spent about 2 years on organizational change, and that's how does an organization change its culture, its behavior, and that included a stint as part of that of training people. So I've been trained in, and had experience in training and coaching adults. So I'm taking, a lot of that has influenced how I deliver programs today. I then led a business team of a billion-dollar business in the greater Rochester area, where I managed our retail and small business customers. That included deposits, lending, wealth management. I then retired, became the executive director of the South Wedge Planning Committee, where I was the executive director. I had been involved in the board of directors, where we spent time on housing, community, and economic development. Geneseo is my fourth career. I started as an adjunct teaching one class, and I've been full-time since 2009, scary thought. My focus is primarily in finance, organizational behavior, and now accounting. But I feel very comfortable with accounting, managerial accounting, because it's what I've spent a significant portion of my life doing, is either the preparation or the use of managerial accounting information. So I've been on both sides of the equation with that. My focus is on applied learning. What can you do as a result of it? I'm an advisor to the Student Managed Investment Fund, where we, if you're not involved or would like to be involved, we'll be starting in the fall. And we have a group of students, and what we do is we manage a portion of real money of the Geneseo Foundation. So we have a portfolio of cash, about $330-some thousand bucks, and we make investment decisions. We buy and sell equities, we do research, we run the Smith as a real wealth management firm. So we produce on a regular basis management information, and then literally we have a group of people who produce and engage in managerial accounting for our investment fund. Another good piece of my job is I'm director of the School of Business Interns, and in that role I work with all students that want to. This is really what you want to do, and how can I coach you, help you identify your skills, what career direction you want to go in, going through your resume, helping you develop a strategy for your success in the future. And then I have a relationship with a lot of alumni and other firms, and I try to make sure that we keep the process going for your career development in conjunction with career services, very specifically my business partner, Mary Cannon. And we'll talk a little bit about structure shortly. So that's a little bit of that. I'm very involved in the community in many different ways. One of them that I'm working in right now is I'm a member of the board of directors, and I'm treasurer of St. Peter's Kitchen in Rochester, where we serve 150 people lunch. We run a pantry. We provide a referral service and a problem solving for students, or for guests. And our guests are a mix of people, a lot of elderly who can't live on Social Security, a lot of working poor. These are people who have jobs, but they simply don't make enough to feed their families. I also run our community garden there, and if you're in Rochester and you want to give back, I could always use help at the garden, plus a number of other things. So that's a little bit about me. Now let's take a look at the syllabus. Let's take a look at the syllabus. And it is very important that you understand what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, what the assignments are, how the course is organized, etc. And I think I'm going to go through it relatively quickly, focusing on the key pieces. The course overview is really what is management accounting? How is it prepared? How is it used? We're actually going to go through what that is when we talk about it in the next module. We can see that this is consistent with the learning goals of the School of Business. First one is you're going to have strong analytical skills. We'll do that. Strong quantitative skills. We'll do that here. Effective communication skills. You'll have a couple of opportunities to do that here. You'll understand how businesses are organized, how the functionality happens. So what will happen? What will a successful student be able to do? They should be able to know the roles of financial management. How does it fit with the broader economic picture? And specifically, how does it work with the management of a firm? So you'll understand and know the importance of managerial accounting, understand the difference between financial accounting and managerial accounting. They're very similar and based on some common information, but they're very, very different. You should be able to identify volume and rate drivers. How does a company make money? Distinguish between fixed and variable costs. Understand how companies actually make money. Understand the importance of cash flow. We call it working capital, liquidity in the management of the firm. And today, with the COVID-19 crisis, this is becoming more important than ever for every company. Understand how to compute and apply financial ratios. Explain and apply different methods of costing, whether that be job cost, process cost, activity-based. Understand financial planning and forecasting, and utilize Excel to build models and solve problems related to the above topics. Now, right now, this may seem like a lot of these words might be like a foreign language to you, but when you're done, we should be able to go back to this, and you should be able to do these things. So that's what successful students have done in the past. The course material is this course is based on the material here. Electronic version will work. Any electronic version is just fine. Used version is just fine. Any edition will work. The way I work it is that I do provide materials in Canvas and links to LinkedIn Learning, which is part of our Geneseo platform. So the Managerial Accounting book is supportive of that, and I reference everything that we're going to do back to it. So as you know, this is an online course. Will be delivered online using Canvas, LinkedIn Learning assignments, and we've organized everything based on modules. We've hunked it together so that we can hopefully I have done it enough that it's a logical grouping of materials. We're going to have a current event presentation and discussions, and these will be very different than any presentation you've ever done before. One discussion between you and I, or you and I in groups. We've done a lot. How are we going to evaluate the course? First is getting to know each other. Even though we're virtual, we still are a class, a cohort. So we got a little activity. We'll have 4 quizzes at 15 points each, which is 60. We'll have a current events presentation discussion, 11 points. You engaging in other presentations, whether that be virtually or based on a recording or being there in person, 5. We're going to do an application project, 10 points, 2 of them, 10 and 10. This is how letter grades are assigned. So let's go through. We're going to go through getting to know you. It'll be in the welcome module here. The quizzes will be online on Canvas. On a designated day, students will have from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. to complete the quiz. They're going to be applied multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank and problems. This isn't about memorization. This is about, do you understand what it is and can you apply it? Next thing, current events presentations. Teams of 2 will be assigned an article from the Wall Street Journal about current news. You will then work as a team using Zoom or however else you want to meet and to prepare a 15-minute presentation that summarizes the article. What are the key issues from a business perspective? And managerial accounting. How does this managerial accounting come from this and relate to that? Includes slides, other visualizations. Once the work is prepared, you make an appointment with me. We let others know, and we record it in a mutually agreeable time. Each student is going to go and participate in these, either real time or virtually. Again, the application project will be identified there. Important dates. I've outlined every date of when something is due. Please watch them carefully. You have them all right now. Modules. Module 1, we're going to take a look at what is management accounting, organizational structure, and what's the role of finance in a firm. We're going to take a look at the current situational background, and then move, how does a firm start to manage their financial affairs and how do they make money. A couple of them are in Chapter 1. Others of them is material that I've made on that. So that's the introduction. We're going to move on to take a look at what's the relationship between revenues and costs. So how do we understand changes in revenue? Then how do we understand costs? How do we evaluate profit? We then move into cash flow, how to measure it, where does it come from, why is it important? Take a look at different costing methods, job order costing, process cost system, activity-based pricing, and then some variance analysis. This probably covers the bulk of the material that's in the book. This is a lot of stuff that we're going to cover here, but we're going to make sure we're going to look at it from two perspectives. How does it prepared, and how is it used? Everything will be based on that. Then we'll do some differential analysis and product pricing in week 5, planning and budgeting week 6, and that will wrap us all up. But if you notice, what I've done, hopefully, is I've identified which week everything is, and you'll find the same thing in Canvas. This is subject to change, as that we are in the middle of a crisis from an economic perspective, and some of the things that we may have done in the past, there's more important current things that are going to impact that. I encourage you to read through this entire syllabus, and especially the student success resources. One of the things I'm going to try to do is keep our videos very short so that you can watch them again in hunks. So this ends the first part. When you join the next video, we're going to take a look at Canvas and the first assignment. If you have any questions, please let me know.